Good morning and welcome to the morning assembly. Today is 18th of June and the day is Thursday. Please get ready for Om and prayer.
Good morning and welcome to KSA News. Live reports from Google show an ever-increasing number of corona cases in India. Not only has this taken a toll on the health of our fellow citizens, but the effects can be seen in the economic scene as well. Talking more on that, we have reporter Rakshit and Mr. Ranveer live from the IBM office.
Thank you, Nisarg. Namaste, Mr. Ranveer. I welcome you to our channel. So the topic for the day is economic impact of COVID-19. So the first question for you is, how and to what extent has this disease had an impact on our country, India?
The lockdown came at a time when the economy was already struggling. Trade across sectors was estimated to be impacted. This directly affected the procurement of the essential items, including testing equipment. Besides the import and export business, yet another major revenue generator that received a blow was tourism industry. The growth rate of automotive business in India was expected to be most adversely affected, followed by power and IT sectors. Unemployment went up to 24% on May 17, 2020. This was possibly a result of decrease in demand as well as in disruption of the workforce faced by the companies. Furthermore, this caused a GVA loss of more than 9% for the Indian economy that month. It is also believed that the whole lockdown has cost us roughly around $26 billion.
Now we will move on to global impact. So my question for you is, can you tell us how has it affected the oil industry all around the world?
One of the reasons for drastic losses in economies of various countries is because of the oil and petroleum industry. The appearance of coronavirus in December 2019 in China and gradual expansion of epidemic drastically brought down the demand and price of the crude oil. On 31st December 2019, WTI oil future was trading at $61.06 and the price dropped to $23.36 on 23rd March 2020. More than 61% of fall in the price of WTI crude sends a message of demand imbalance. With a decrease in flights on international and domestic levels, the consumption of oils has declined further.
Moving on, can you enlighten us on the losses incurred by nations all over the world?
This hit on the economy has radically brought down the GDP of nations all over the world. Countries like Canada, USA, Italy, UK, France, and Germany are brought down to the annual GDP of negative 5% in year 2020.
Lastly, are there any positive impacts of the virus on the economy? And if yes, what are they?
Work from home was a great idea by businesses. This has benefited an online communication app called Zoom to a great extent as shares have gone up. Furthermore, there are two more such online businesses which have benefited to a great extent, which are Amazon and Netflix. As Amazon shares prices has reached a new high and Netflix had once again become a more valuable company than oil giant ExxonMobil.
It was a pleasure talking to you, sir. Now we'll go back to Nisarg.
Even though the lockdown is over, Corona has done some significant damage on humankind. However, humans turning on humans is almost as bad as virus attacks in terms of lives lost. Let's go to Sakshi and Priya, who will talk about the various recent events regarding police brutality.
इस महामारी के समय में सभी लोगों की अपनी मजबूरी है। ऐसे में पुलिस की निष्ठुरता और निर्दयता बढ़ती जा रही है और ऐसे ही बनाव केन्या में बने हैं। सैकड़ों लोग एक बेघर आदमी की मौत का विरोध प्रदर्शन करने के लिए केन्या की राजधानी की सड़कों पर उतर आए हैं। 51 वर्षीय जेम्स मोरोथी का शव मथारे में एक गली में पड़ा था। माना जाता है कि पुलिस द्वारा एक कोरोना वायरस कर्फ्यू का उल्लंघन करने के लिए वे मारे गए थे। अधिकारियों द्वारा कथित तौर पर गोली मारे जाने के बाद न्याय के लिए सैकड़ों लोग ने विरोध प्रदर्शित किया। और तो और पुलिस द्वारा पेट में गोली लगने से एक 13 वर्षीय योसिन मोयो की मौत हो गई, क्योंकि वे अपने भाई बहनों के साथ लगभग शाम के 7 बजे अपने बालकनी में खेल रहे थे और कर्फ्यू लागू हो चुका था। मिसिंग वॉइस एक ऐसा समूह जो केन्या में असाधारण हत्याओं पर नजर रखता है के विश्लेषण के अनुसार 2020 में पुलिस द्वारा 93 लोगों को मार दिया गया है। 2007 में पुलिस निष्ठुरता शुरू होने के बाद का यह सबसे अधिक वार्षिक कुल दर्ज किया गया है।
आगे बढ़ते हुए बात करते हैं बिहार की। बिहार की राजधानी पटना में पुलिस ने 3 सिपाही को गिरफ्तार किया है। इन पर आरोप है कि इन्होंने आलू ले जा रही पिकअप वैन के ड्राइवर पर गोलियां चलाई और उसे जाने की इजाजत देने की एवज में 5,000 रुपए की रिश्वत मांगी। पीड़ित का नाम सोनू शाह है, जो नदी किनारे से दानापुर शहर के लिए आलू ला रहा था। पटना के पास 3 पुलिस वालों के साथ उसकी बहस हो गई, जिसके बाद पुलिस वालों ने उसके पैर में गोली मार दी। और दूसरे किस्से की बात करें तो एक महिला पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट डॉक्टर को खम्मम पुलिस के एसीपी गणेश ने थप्पड़ मारा था जब वह रात की ड्यूटी में भाग ले रही थी। उसको गाली देकर थप्पड़ मारा गया था। वह किस्सा शांत कर अपनी ड्यूटी पर चली गई और दूसरे दिन उसने कंप्लेंट लिखवा दी। अगर ऐसा ही चलता रहा तो पुलिस हमारे रक्षक में से हमारे भक्षक बन जाएंगे।
Thank you, Priya and Sakshi. Now we will have Jinal and Heeya reciting poems on police brutality and racism.
Namaste. What the Dead Know by Heart by Tonte Collins. Lately, when asked how are you, I respond with a name no longer living. Rakya, Shamar, Sandra. I'm alive by luck at this point. I wonder often if the gun that will unmake me is yet made. What white bird will bury me? How many bullets, like a flock of blue jays, will come carry my back to its final bed? Which voodoo will be used to water down my blood? Today, I did not die, and there is no God or Lord to thank. The bullet missed my head and landed in another. Today, I passed by a mirror and did not see a body. Instead, a suggestion, a debate, a blank post-it note there looking back. I haven't enough room for both rage and weep. I go to cry, and each tear turns to steam. I say, I matter, and a ghost white hand appears over my mouth. Thank you.
Namaste. Ballad of Birmingham. Mother dear, may I go downtown instead of out to play? and march the streets of Birmingham in a freedom march today? No, baby, no. You may not go, for the dogs are fierce and wild, and clubs and hoses, guns and jails aren't good for a little child. But mother, I won't be alone. Other children will go with me and march the streets of Birmingham to make our country free. No, baby, no. You may not go, for I fear those guns will fire. But you may go to the church instead and sing in the children's choir. She has combed and brushed her night dark hair and bathed rose petals sweet and drawn white gloves on her small brown hands and white shoes on her feet. The mother smiled to know that her child was in a sacred place. But that smile was the last smile to come upon her face. For when she heard the explosion, her eyes grew wet and wild. She raced through the streets of Birmingham, calling for her child. She clawed through the bits of glass and brick, then lifted out a shoe. Oh, here's the shoe my baby wore. But baby, where are you?
I just heard somebody say that racism is inbred. No, it is not. Racism is not part of the human condition. Racism is a learned response. You need to be taught to be a racist. You are not born a racist. And like anything else, if you can learn it, you can unlearn it. But some people are afraid to unlearn it because they feel like they'll lose power if they share it with somebody else. That is what it is all about. We are afraid of losing power. Men won't share power with women because they think they will become powerless. People, if we could share power, we could empower many people, and this would make all of us more powerful. I really believe that words have the power to move people. And I know that you have seen videos, you have read articles about all that has happened this month, and it's really important to read more about the hardships that they have faced as a community since 400 years, and that is a long time. So it has been late, but it is happening. Change is taking place, and it's sad to see that discrimination is global and not limited to races. However, there has been a significant change in the reception of communities that were earlier ousted. For example, in the June of 1965, there took place the Stonewall riots led by the LGBT community, who, after years of oppression, they led the protests which gave way to the acceptance of their community. To commemorate the efforts of those who fought for us to see the rainbow high and proud, we celebrate June of every year as Pride Month. Now we have reporter Sanjana talking about the significance and the importance of this month.
Every year June, as in Pride Month, has been dedicated to fighting discrimination against people belonging to the LGBTQIA+ community. This originated back in 1994 in the United States by Rodney Vince, and the acronym LGBTQIA+ stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, and asexual individuals. This year is also the 50th anniversary of the Pride movement. It would have been a vivid and loud celebration across the world if it weren't for the coronavirus pandemic and social distancing norms. Therefore, the LGBTQIA+ community has also announced a worldwide digital platform called Global Pride in order to celebrate diversity of all kinds.
However, there's a long way to go in order to achieve complete acceptance. According to the recent news, the Polish president called the promotion of LGBT rights as an ideology more destructive than communism. He established LGBT-free zones as well as banned gay marriages, adoption by gay parents, and also the learning of LGBTQI community in schools. This is just one of the few examples of the injustices done in this world. All we can do is fight and hope for the best future where every kind of person is loved and accepted fully.
Thank you so much, Sanjana. That was really informative. And thank you to all of you viewers out there for supporting us during the first broadcast of KSA News.